Hi, I'm WinstonW here today for a new movie review. I've watched the new Christopher Nolan's movie yesterday night, and I had a great time. What a movie, it's really something. Okay, let's get into it.
What'll happen here?
Hasn't happened yet.
First things first, I'm gonna give my opinion about Tenet, without any spoilers, and then I will get into the details. Like I said before, I truly enjoyed the movie. The concept is very interesting and Nolan twists his time in every direction. You might get lost sometimes. The story is quite complex, not gonna lie, but you can get the main idea. The movie moves forward very fast and it does not stop. Make sure you pee before watching and make sure your brain is fully operational. All of the actors play very well. Special mention to Kenneth Branagh, who plays a very convincing Russian bad guy. Hans Zimmer didn't compose the music this time. Electro music has been composed for the movie, and it's awesome. It fits perfectly the concept of the story. The direction is quite amazing also. It has great action scenes. It's a must-watch at the cinema. The emotional impact of the story is not very strong if you compare it to Inception or Interstellar. Normally you won't cry at the end, which is fine because the story is good enough. Anyway, I strongly advise you to watch it, especially if you like very enigmatic movies. Okay, let's get into the details now. Warning, I'm gonna spoil. So, I was right. I was right about the Einstein-Rosen bridges. I was right about the concept of going to the other universe. I was right about certain events moving backward in time. I was right about the reason why they have to wear masks. And I was right about the two universes kind of collapsing on each other. If you want to know what I'm talking about, go check my two previous videos about Tenet, links in the description if you're interested. You know how I knew all of that? Temporal pincer. I'm joking, I'm just very smart. Of course I'm exaggerating a bit, but if you watch my videos you will see that I wasn't so far from the concept of the movie actually. The story in general is not so complicated to understand, even though it's almost impossible to get all the details in once. I might have to watch it again later to understand it fully. I'm gonna try to make a quick summary of the story now. So the bad guy, called Sator, works with an unknown agency to kill everyone in the past, because the past is responsible for the end of the world. The planet in the future is supposedly inhabitable because of humans' actions. They hope to prevent climate change by reverting the entropy of the world in the past. Sator grew up next to a secret building with a nuclear plant. His home has been nuked, and one day he dug up a part of the algorithm to revert entropy. It was under the rumbles. What a coincidence. The algorithm has been created by a scientist in the future, but realizing how dangerous it was, she has been hiding the 9 pieces back in time. If Sator dropped the full algorithm in the dead drops of his hometown, it will reverse the entropy of the world. The plan suits him perfectly. He is dying of pancreatic cancer. If he can't live, then the world should not either. He is planning to die in the happiest moment of his life, when he was with his wife Kat in Vietnam in the past. A device is linked to his heartbeat. If he dies, the algorithm drops and reverses the entropy. That's a little dramatic. To prevent that from happening, a guy called the protagonist is charged with the mission to stop Sator. Through his journey he will learn more and more about the whole plot and meet his fellow partner Neil. Sadly, they won't manage to take the last piece of the algorithm from Sator. Now he can die and destroy the past. Then the Tenet organizations start a pincer temporal move to get back the algorithm from Sator's hometown. They use one team moving forward and another one moving backward. From the backward team they got the information so they can win. They manage to get the algorithm before Sator's death. Kat kills him in Vietnam. That's the moment we understand that the whole story was a temporal pincer orchestrated by the protagonist himself. He was the one who recruited Neil in the future and sent him back in the past. You also realize that he even recruited himself. He has been leading himself in the past from the future. The question remaining is the following one. If Sator had won, then the future would have never existed. Then the protagonist couldn't even plan anything. But if Sator had won, the future can't exist either. The grandfather paradox. It feels like the story was already written and things can be truly changed, but they still have to play their part. You can tell me in the comment section if I forgot anything important or even made mistakes. I still don't fully understand the whole plot, but I think I have got the main idea right. Anyway, I love this kind of enigmatic story. It doesn't take you by the hand and explains everything to you explicitly. You need to think about it, to rewatch it, to even document yourself in order to get the full spectrum. But the movie is a bit too cold in my opinion. It truly lacks of emotional impact. It's a shame. It also goes too fast. The first hour is very intense. Too intense for my liking. A few breaks where you can catch your breath would have been great. The lack of explanation might be a problem for some also. For example, I would like to understand how the doors that switch to the opposite universe work. It's just there and they use them, but they never really tell you what's the purpose of it, and you can see yourself in the opposite universe from the glass. Why? I think that's the kind of stuff that you just need to admit. Okay, that's how it works, even though it doesn't make any sense to you. But I love the scenes with reverted events, such as the hand-to-hand fight of the protagonist with himself, or the car chase. I was so much into it, fucking epic. Nolan is very creative with his setups. All the things moving forward while others move backwards on the inverse. It's really creative and what an unique visual experience really. The camera movements are very basic. Most of the shots or angles aren't very exotic. By the way, sometimes you can clearly notice that the actors have been asked to play scenes backward, like they are moving forward. The movements don't look natural, it feels odd. The last battle is very confusing, it looks great but it's very hard to understand what the hell is happening. Explosions, reverse explosions and so on. I also love the way Nolan builds his story. Some events we have seen in the movie just before happen again in the opposite direction. Like the fight the protagonist against the protagonist, or the fact that Kat actually sees herself jumping from the yacht after killing Sator. Just like a Sator square, you can read it in different ways. I am rating the movie 8.5 out of 10. It's not my favorite Nolan's movie, but it's still a masterpiece in my opinion. I think the thing that bothers me the most is the lack of emotional impact. But in a way, can you get into such complexity without sacrificing something, huh? I've noticed that there are a lot of mixed feelings about this film. Some love it, some hate it. I can understand why you might not like it actually, but it works for me. Alright, that's all for me today. Leave a like, comment and subscribe for more. Let me know what you all think of the movie in the comment section. Don't forget to check out my music channel and to follow me on social media. You can also find me on pretty much all digital platforms, Spotify, iTunes, Tidal and so on. All links in the description below. Stay tuned, see you next time!